Hey, before we get started with this video, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. That would mean a lot, so I can continue to make these videos to help you guys out. So, thinking outside the box. What does that really mean? When I make these videos, I always come up with some categories and stuff like that, but thinking outside the box is one of them that is crucial for expanding reality. See, we stay in this comfort zone, and if you haven't watched the video of yesterday, please go watch it. It will make a lot more sense of why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. But yeah, so thinking outside the box is really crucial, and it's something that we really don't do at all. Like, we do it subconsciously more than consciously, because of the things that we see other people do, how we want to feel, and the things that we want to accomplish. And when you think outside the box, it kind of gives you this feeling of fear. When you start to want to change who you are, want to evolve into somebody that you are, thinking outside the box can feel like really scary at times, and it can make you feel like overwhelmed in the sense of, I don't know how to do that, I don't know which way to go, and I don't know if this is gonna work for me. It doesn't matter. Just think outside the box. Do what you want to do. Feel what you want to feel. If you haven't done anything that is new or opening your mind, think about that and really try to open your mind in the sense of different perspectives. Thinking outside the box can be hard though, because we are so used to our comfort zone, and this is what I was talking about yesterday. But thinking outside the box is more than just your comfort zone, and this is why. Because when you think outside the box, you're starting to stimulate the things that you want to stimulate. You're starting to evolve into the person you want to evolve into, and that can be scary. That can be very hard on the body in the sense of not doing it before, not thinking like this before. Why am I thinking like this? How am I thinking like this? Don't think of why, how, and what in the sense. When you think outside the box, start doing. What I mean by that is, like, for instance, I be thinking about the things I like to do, right? And normally people know what they like to do and stuff like that and whatever not. But when you start thinking about things you haven't thought about in a while, like, I want to go skateboarding, I want to try something new, I want to try a different hair color, I want to be a model, I want to do these things that I've never done before, that's when thinking outside the box is really going to benefit you, because now you're starting to figure out who you are, and that's what we want. We want you to figure out who you are. I hope you want to figure out who you are and be better and comfortable or uncomfortable, like yesterday. But thinking outside the box is so crucial, because it helps us develop into who we are and why we want to be who we are, in the sense of not living for society, not living for anybody else, but living for us. And I think that when I started thinking outside the box, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little fearful of my thoughts, because I haven't thought about that at all. I didn't know which way to accomplish it. I still don't really know which way to accomplish it, but I'm thinking more outside the box. Like, I want to go skydiving, and I want to go do more things that I'm fearful of, because the more time you wait on the things that you're scared of, the more time you're going to sit there and just procrastinate and not do anything. We think more than we act most of the time. And I realize that, like, we think a lot more than we act. And then when we realize how we've been living life, we haven't really done anything that was gonna benefit us. And then we sit here and like, oh, I've done this and I've done that, but in reality, we haven't really done anything with our life that is what we want to do. Most of the time, it's what other people want us to do and how they want us to live. So when you think outside the box, you're going to be thinking for yourself in this category. You're not going to be thinking about everybody else and what they want for you. You're going to try to think about everything that you want to do and how you want to do it. And granted, people will say this is selfish, right? But in order to be a better person for anybody else, you have to be a better person for yourself. It starts from somewhere. It has to be a balance, though, because everything is a balance. Yin and yang, black and white, blue and red. It's all a balance. And when you realize the balance of you've been unbalanced because you've been doing things that other people want you to do or want you to feel or how to feel, it becomes this point where you don't even know what you want. But when you start thinking outside the box, you're finally starting to open your circadian rhythm, your vibration, your emotional compass, your emotional this and that, and it starts to become for you. And this is what I'm saying about stepping outside the box and thinking outside the box. It really helps you to implement the things that you want to do in life and how you want to show, how you want to be shown through the world, if that makes sense. Like people perceiving you, per se. Growing up, I didn't really know that I was very imaginative. I used to think outside the box all the time, like, I want to do this, do you see that, blah, blah, blah. The more I got older, I started to shut that shit down. I'm not gonna lie, like, I started to shut it down because it was just, like, emotionally, like, nobody wanted to do the things I wanted to do, and I felt like I needed to be around people and do the things they wanted to do in order to be, like, in order to be loved, in order to be accepted, and in order to be this person I wasn't, you know what I mean? Now that I'm older, I realize that I don't have to be anybody but myself, and thinking outside the box is only going to better me in this sense, because I'm not doing the things I love to do. And when you don't do things that you love to do, it starts to hinder your personal growth. And very fast, because you don't realize that you're not living on your line of, you're not living the way you want to live, you're living the way other people want you to live. And that's where you stop growing. You could take advice from people, and advice is good because it helps you think about different perspectives and different ways of doing things, right? But when you stop thinking outside the box and you start doing what other people are doing, now you're losing an essence of yourself, because now you're trying to do it for them. No, don't do it for them, do it for yourself. You feel me? Like, do it for yourself. Most of the things that you should be doing is for yourself, because the better you are for yourself, the better you are for people. And I say that all the time because people want you to forget who you are. People want you to merge into this thing that you're really not. And the more you stop being who you are, the more you're going to be miserable with who you are. And it's really true. Like, I used to smoke weed, and I used to, just have this narrow mindset of like, oh yeah, I'm having fun, and like I'm doing what I want, and I'm thinking outside the box, and I'm doing more things. Just because you're doing more things doesn't mean you're thinking outside the box, and just because you're thinking outside the box doesn't mean you're doing more things. So really keep that in mind, because as you start this journey and as you start going and figuring out who you are, it's going to come to a point where you have to sit down with yourself and be like, is this what I want to do? Is this how I want to live my life? Am I hanging out with the right people? Am I question everything? And people always stop the questioning because they want you to be brainwashed into this mechanism of this mindset. That's how true it is. And you start to really lose who you are. So don't let people dictate your life. You dictate your life, and just make sure that you're doing everything that you feel that you need to do. Particularly take advice when it's needed, but when you think outside the box, think big and bold. Don't think small and old, bro. Think big and bold, bro, because when you start to uncover who you are is when you start to be the happiest form of yourself. But it starts with thinking outside the box. It starts with really reflecting on the things that you want to reflect on. It starts with loving yourself. It starts with paying attention to what makes you feel good and what makes you not feel good, and comparing those and outweighing those contrasts, because that's really gonna show you what you like, who you like, and what your goals are. A lot of people don't know what their goals are, and they get so scrambled in the mind, but it's like you haven't even thought about what you want, let alone thought outside the box of changing certain things and mechanisms. So yeah, peace. if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be making more videos. And I want to try to make a video in the morning and in the night, just to compare and contrast how I'm talking. But please like, comment, and subscribe. This will mean a lot. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And that is it. Peace.